Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am very delighted to have an opportunity to come and talk to you today as we celebrate the second anniversary of devolution in Kenya. When I was invited, I was told to just come and make a very brief remarks. And this is what I'm going to do, but with a light note. Because I'm very happy that at last we are having a devolved system of government. So my remarks are titled Appreciating and Strengthening Devolved Governance, working together to realize the objectives of devolution. One of the amazing achievements of democracy is how its fruits trickle down to supporters and opponents alike. Those who voted for and against the Constitution have equal chance to benefit from its fruits. This is the story of devolution in Kenya. We may debate how counties are being governed, but there can be no doubt that voters want their counties to be supported and strengthened, not wound up or undermined. Devolution has many challenges. Corruption cartels have commandeered many county governments. Unrepentant believers in the old order are fighting the devolved units in the false hope that they can reverse the clock. Some elected leaders have confused their oversight role with execution, pitting county assemblies against county executives. Some of the county governments are too tiny to benefit from the economies of scale. Nearly all county governments are serving populations grounded in decades of poverty. Many sectors with direct impact on citizens have not been fully devolved. Although health is devolved, it has serious challenges with regard to funding and personnel. Agriculture and infrastructure are not fully devolved, but people expect the county governments to deliver on them. In these partially devolved areas, county and national government development plans are creating conflicting priorities, confusion, and unclear visions. Some counties are bogged down by tribal and clan tensions. Nearly all county governments are sagging under the weight of expectations. Voters expected that services that had stalled for 50 years in the infrastructure, in healthcare, agriculture, tourism, and employment will take off immediately under the county governments. By and large, however, devolution is changing our county and our country in ways few ever imagined. There have been loud concerns about corruption. The activities of some members of the county assemblies and county executives have been seen as pushing greed and impunity to new levels, sparking off protests. These days, the language of bonding and benchmarking have become common practice in the country. But there is a positive side to the protests. They indicate that the people are taking control of their destiny. In the days of the old order, nobody questioned the PC, the DC, or the DO. Too few knew what had been allocated for their development. Development was what the DC or PC said. Devolution has come with a new boss, the people. Development is what the people say it should be. The national government has handed over more powers to politicians and institutions elsewhere in Migori, Murang'a, Mombasa, Turkana, Kericho, Bomet, Kwale, and elsewhere. What we do with those powers are absolutely up to us. Results are trickling down everywhere. And as you already saw in the film that was shown there. But a few more other statistics. In Turkana, they have cut distance to the hospital from 55 kilometers to 35 kilometers in 2 years. Turkana increased education bursaries from 150 million to 300 million in the current financial year. At no one time in the last 50 years did the government of Kenya allocate such amount of money to the education of Turkana children. Rural health services that long suffered inadequate financing, dilapidated physical facilities, unreliable supply of drugs, absence of adequate medical equipment, and shortage of qualified medical staff have changed. Nearly every village has access to ambulance services from their county government. In Kisii, each of the 9 sub-county hospitals has a state-of-the-art ambulance operated by qualified paramedics. This has boosted referral of critical cases by over 340%. Referral of pregnant mothers has increased by 300%. This story is replicated all over the country, as we saw. Kisii town is now a 24-hour town after the county government installed 300 solar lights. In arid Marsabit County, where water is life literally, the county government has drilled 26 boreholes in the last 2 years against less than 15 boreholes drilled by the national government in the last 50 years. A slaughterhouse is coming up for the first time since independence. Mombasa County's school milk program has seen over 27,000 children from all the public nursery and lower primary from class 1 to class 3 get school milk 5 days a week. The focus here is to improve nutrition, which is not addressed in childhood. If not addressed in childhood, leads to stunting and low prospects in later life. It is also meant to enhance the transition rate from the home to ECD and from ECD to primary school. The planned water desalination plant by the county government will solve a long-standing problem that should have been addressed decades ago. The Murang'a Integrated Development Day, incorporating the Murang'a Investment Cooperative and Murang'a Child Care are pace status. Despite the problems the leadership is going through, the amount of talent and capacity the county has put together indicates something worth looking forward to. We are witnessing regional growth and enterprise outside of Nairobi and the traditional high potential areas. Yes, the people are still heading to Nairobi for jobs, but millions are instead heading to the county governments these days. Kenya's economy has withstood the shocks coming from insecurity, partly because of the investments going on in the counties and the promise of these counties. For the first time in our history, we are looking at the possibility of an economy firing on all the cylinders. The point that was missed by the political elite for too long, and that we need to rebalance our economy and away from its over-reliance on the national government is slowly beginning to sink. We are beginning to realize that we have other strengths too in other places, and that there is actually no low potential part of Kenya. But despite problems, devolution has put Kenya on the right course, in line with the trends in the world. Strong economies built on semi-autonomous and interdependent regions. It is the story of Germany, the USA, India, the UK, and so on. It's a story all Kenyans have bought. If you doubt, just try abolishing accounting. Now, there definitely are challenges that need to be addressed. We have made a good start. It was known that there would be challenges initially because these counties are the pioneers. Those who are in charge are the pioneers. They have no one else to learn from. So mistakes are made. The Latins say, vox populi, vox Dei. But they also say that errare humanum est, meaning to err is human. So there are mistakes which have been made, which may not be of commission but of omission in certain areas. But I think that we're going toward the right direction. But there are certain areas which need to be addressed, which require that we have a dialogue to discuss how this could be done. That's the reason why we have been talking the language of dialogue, because you need to approach them in a bipartisan manner. There are areas which need to be rectified for the devolution to work smoothly. The issues of resource allocation, the issues of security, which have already been mentioned here, and so on and so forth. All these need to be discussed in a bipartisan manner, in an atmosphere which is shorn of confrontation. And that's the reason why we have been talking about dialogue, and we are convening one on Thursday at Bomas of Kenya. And everybody has been invited, including His Excellency, the President. Finally, about security, because there can be no development without security. We require to have a secure environment in which to work. And this country is bleeding today. Mr. President, when this matter happened, I talked to you and told you that this is a terrible thing, that something ought to be done about it. And I realized the pressure under which you were. But I said that we will support actions taken by the government to secure the security of the people of Kenya. But then it is how to do it where we have different visions. Because, you see, first, the whole country is bleeding. Not very far away from here, they buried a young girl who was in Garissa, in the residence where the terrorists were attacking. She called her mother at 6 in the morning and told her, "Mom, these people have entered here, they're attacking us and they're shooting." An hour later, she called her mother again. 3 hours later, she said, "They are now moving up. They're coming to my room." At midday, they said, "They're just now coming for me." Finally, they made her call again and talk to her mother. And then they took the phone and told her mother, "I'm now killing her." And then the mother could hear the gunshots. Just imagine that kind of trauma. And this is midday, after midday. So, Your Excellency, when we speak the way we speak, you must understand the reasons why. And they know how you feel also. Put yourself in the shoes of that mother, those parents. And that at all this time, 6 hours, there was no help. Your Excellency, you need to crack the whip. Where was help? Why should it take us 6 hours to get people from Nairobi to Garissa? We have a Kenya Air Force based at Isili. The Rekes squad is in Ruiru. Why do they have to pass Isili to go to Wilson Airport? And then why do we have to put them on trucks to travel all those hours to Garissa? Your Excellency, your people are letting you down. And if you have an Air Force with 13 aircrafts and only 3 are operational, 10 are grounded because of lack of spare parts and lack of maintenance, something is seriously wrong. Because there are pilots who are hired, who are being paid salary on a monthly basis, they have no aircraft to fly. Something seriously wrong that need to be dealt with seriously. Your Excellency, we are concerned. We know where you're coming from, but we are saying that these are issues that cannot wait for tomorrow. Yes, we have our own national self-interest. Every country asks all the times in the national self-interest. That is why the ambassador has been here. He knows that their troops were in Somalia. They pulled them out of Somalia. Why? Were the Al-Shabaab stronger than the American army? No. But because of American self-interest, they pulled them out of Somalia. So we said that let us have an exit strategy, not to pull our troops today, but let us agree on an exit strategy and look at the Kenya's national self-interest. The Kenya's interest is first, all the rest is secondary. Thank you very much.